For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen. A legendary coach is coming out of retirement to lead the Wallace boys basketball program next year. Longtime Arapahoe head coach Bob Braithwait, who's been a principal in the Wallace school system the last 3 years, will be taking on the Wallace boys basketball program next season. Had a chance to talk to Bob this week and talks about some of the thoughts as he gets set to get back into coaching.
I'm trying to gather my thoughts, I guess, at this point, Jayson. I didn't plan on this at all. It was a thing where our coach here decided to take another position closer to home. This opened up, and although Wallace has been pretty competitive, they haven't been to the conference finals on championship Saturday one time in 17 years. Now it's for third and fourth, and I think people are looking for something here and in the basketball program, and they decided they'd go to an old dog and ask him if he'd be interested, and had some parents come and talk to me, and I told them I really wasn't thinking about it. And then the kids came and talked to me, and that was a difference maker. When kids come and talk to you, we're in the kid business, and that's when I really started to consider it, and sat down and met with them and told them what the program would look like, and then met with their parents, and everybody seemed to be all in. And so next thing I know, here I am. I'm back in again. So hopefully it's a good ride.
It's been 10 years since you stepped down in Arapahoe. Did you miss any of it? Was there ever an itch that you wanted to scratch again?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think once you coach and the business is good to you, you never lose that itch. I didn't get out because I didn't want to coach anymore. I got out because they needed a principal that's K through 12 and at Arapahoe at the time, and they were so good to me there that I thought I could help them in that capacity. And I was okay with the change. I had grandkids running around, and so we made the transition. Like I said, Arapahoe was always good to me, and so I never lost the itch, but I never had the real burn until just lately. And so that's why I'm back in.
Are any of the Wallace kids, are they old enough to remember your glory days at Arapahoe? Do they know what they're getting into here?
No, we don't. I think their parents have probably talked to them a little bit. I haven't said anything to them. They got into the holiday tournament this year in Arapahoe, and I think they got to see some things there that maybe, like, they got to see me when I had not this white of hair, and they got to see me when I was in some pictures of our teams back then, and I think they were a little bit surprised. And I don't talk about it a whole lot because it's just not something that it's not something you go out and tell people about. It's about the kids, and it's always been about the kids for me, and it'd be no different here.
What would you like to get out of this year? Any expectations? Any thoughts on it? I mean, I'm sure I know you. You're a competitor. You're not getting into this to lose. No. I sure want to be successful. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. And I don't think it's fair to your kids if you get into it just for that. Just to put in your time. And I think our program's always been about discipline and hard work and fundamentals, and that's not going to change. And I've always said that if all we teach them is basketball, we failed them miserably as coaches. And so hopefully we teach them some life lessons along the way and build some camaraderie and some teamwork and those kind of things that will last them a lifetime. And that's the real nature of the business that we're in, or should be anyhow. And hopefully you can get those things accomplished. If you win some games along the way, that's good. But make no mistake about it, I sure like it when we have more on our side than they have on theirs. Braithwait, who has won more than 400 games in his career, will take over a Wallace program that was very young last season, with a number of freshmen playing as they won 7 games. But certainly Wallace will be a team to keep an eye on in the future. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen.